So I just want to do a quick introduction to Clarisse, just go over a few of its key components. You basically have what looks like an outliner on the bottom. Clarisse uses context, which is basically a folder system for most of its how it works. And right here you get the default camera, which we're looking through right now, a light, which is right here. If I hit F, it'll center on it. There's a lot of similar Maya commands, so you're holding Alt, left, middle, and right mouse buttons. And then you have the image tab, so which is, we have nothing in there right now, but that is where our renders go, and this is our 3D view. On the right hand side, this is basically like your attribute editor. You can also get to the image through the image. You can also double click on the image from the bottom right image, and it'll pop up. So there's two ways you can, re-render. And then let's just try new, create geometry. Let's do a cylinder. So here we have a cylinder and I'm orbiting around. If we go into image view and if I hit F, you can zoom into your image. So the nice thing with Clarisse is you're not really dealing with your render engine separately. Like, this is my image, I hit render, I get the image. You actually have a dynamic render capability with Clarisse, and then it'll auto update as it goes through. So that's really a nice core feature of what you get. And if you double click on it, and you can render through there, but sometimes it's just nice to go between the toggle between the two views. Now if you want to create a material to put on this image, so the new version of Clarisse is using physically based elements. Now you can just add any material that you want. So we're going to add a diffuse, and if you go over here in the diffuse in the attribute editor, you can change the shader context. So now if you go in your image view, you don't see it. So what you want to do is you want to drag this onto your piece, and then dynamically it links it to the object that you dragged it to. So now it has that diffuse color to it, and then you can double click back and make it more yellow, and then here you go, it automatically updates as you go through. And then now you can create a texture. You can put like a map onto it. So the map file is what it used to be, and the stream map file is actually using UDIMs. So if you want, you can just, instead of using the regular map file, use a stream map file, and when you have UDIMs and separate layers, then you can actually just swap out, and you won't have to change the actual texture itself. So here we go, stream map file, and then you just literally you can change anything you want. The projection, UV, planar, cylindrical, keep it to UV. There's the UV slots for how you want to use the UDIMs. And then basically just scroll down, and then here's file name, and then you can just find where you want your texture file to go to. And you just check the file, and let's just go quickly. Texture. So now same idea, you just want to drag that over the checkerboard right here from where the shader was, and then here I just have a simple little color, but here it's loaded, and that's basically it for that. So now it's reading a texture map file for our cylinder. Now just to carry it back through, our light is down here. We can move our light around. We can go back to 3D view. There's the light. You can do standard Maya, QWERTY keys to move things around in your scene, rotate things around. And then if you click over here into the background, this will bring up how you'll basically be rendering. So the other way that you can go through it is you can do a plus, and then you can open up the render manager, which you can see right here. So if I click on background, you can see here, first frame up to frame 50. So if you just want to do a single image, starting from frame 0, then 0 will just do for one frame. You can do render to disk. So now it'll output to where you want it. And then it's linear. Right now it's set up as an OpenEXR. And you'll just check where you want to save the render out. So go back to where I was. You can use favorites. And let's see if I can. And just name it test. Save. So nothing's happened yet. So now you can just hit render. Now you can see that we just rendered the current image. So you can go into Photoshop, File, Open, and there's our render. Now if you see, our image size is actually 640 by 360. And if you go back up into here, where is it? There's just one thing you want to change. The multiplier is set at 50, and we actually want to do it where it's 100%. So if we go back into our scene, click back on our image. So our image view, you can see right here the resolution is actually set at 1280 by 720. So the resolution multiplier is saying it's at half that, so that's 50%. You can go smaller or larger, but if you set that to 100, now you can see we're actually rendering at 100%. So now if we hit render, it takes a little longer. Done. So now we can update our Photoshop image, and it will be to the same size as what we want, what we just rendered. So now it's updated. So now we're at the true full 100% 1280 by 720. This is basically a simple overview of Clarisse. I'll do more in the coming weeks.